There we go. We're finally live. I totally spent the last 15 minutes talking, and we're not even live. What is going on here? I'm so sorry for the late start there, guys. Let me get back on here. No need for it. But you know what? Let's get back. Let's go right back to the beginning. We're gonna start and do this right because I didn't even. I'm like, I look over. I'm like, why is the studio and everything not looking right? Why is it not? I am so sorry, guys. But what is going on, Vikings fans? Let me do the intro right, just and do justice for you guys. We got your welcome back to the Purple and Gold Bar Show. I am your host, Supreme Overlord, aka Mr. AI Man 3000, aka Mr. Purple and Gold Bars, at your service. We are back at it. We got to do our Monday afternoon victory live because we're celebrating Victory Monday because our Minnesota Vikings went into the Detroit Lions kitty litter and showed a litter box. Sorry. We went to the litter box and showed out. What is going on, Mr. Samuel? Thank you for joining me, buddy. We went to Detroit to the old litter box and threw a huge dump on all of these bums. Let's be real. It's so nice to have a team that's rising and watching that rival, that not really a rival, it's just an annoying fan base because they think they can puff out their chest because they made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row. Ooh, raise the banners. The Lions are here. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. So let's get into this. What we're gonna today's show, we're gonna go over the box score. We're gonna recap as much. I'm gonna give you guys some of my insights here, and we're gonna I want to also revisit the game plan that I thought we needed to use in order to win. And hey, 2 days to your birthday, Samuel. Happy birthday, brother. Early birthday. We'll definitely make a big deal about it on Wednesday's stream for sure, man. But yeah, so we're going to go through the box score. We're going to go over the game, give you guys my insights, and then we're going to go over the game plan. And then, of course, at the very end, we're going to do a little bit of Lions trolling because they deserve it. Come on, guys. I understand, though. You guys are irrelevant for decades at a time, so when you get a little bit of relevancy, you guys just want to raise the banners. I get it. But you know what? I just hope that you guys find Jesus because maybe then you guys might pick a good team. Maybe get some clarity. I'm just joking. See, the trolling is going to be throughout the whole video, actually. But let's get into it. Hey, Fang Yang, what's going on, buddy? Yo, you and Samuel have the same birthday. Congratulations, boys. You guys have made it another year. Happy early birthday. We'll definitely make a big deal about it on Wednesdays live. Absolutely. But before we do that, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe as we are on the road to 500 subscribers, giving you guys some daily uploads. I'm going to start bringing more topics as well, not just Vikings. I'm going to start making more lives, even if they're a little bit shorter than the normal Vikings live, the normal talk show. And that way we can talk about the trending topics throughout the NFL and, highlight the things and the teams that also need some love as well. So let's get into it, guys. Let's start the frickin' show. Let's get the intro going. All right. So yesterday we had our Minnesota Vikings, our fighting Minnesota Vikings, traveling to Detroit to play in the Detroit Lions litter box. It stunk in there, and it wasn't our Minnesota Vikings. It was the Detroit Lions. We came away with the win 27-24, completely embarrassing these Lions, making them realize, hopefully, that should be a red flag because if you're a Super Bowl contender and you lose to a team that's going through injuries and starting a rookie quarterback, gonna have a ton of growing pains, oh man, you guys are in for a world of hurt in the playoffs. Like always, big game Goff is gonna show up, guys. Let's go. SKOL, Texas Roadhouse. Oh, that's gonna be a good one. SKOL Vikings, Minnesota Vikings news fans, what is up, man? It's It's great to have you here, man. All right, so let's start by going over the Detroit Lions box score. Let's quickly go over that. Now, we got Jared Goff with a mediocre game, and he went 25 for 37, 284 yards, a 67.57 completion rate, 7.68 average yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 sacks, 108.39 quarterback rating. Yes, and you heard me. I said mediocre. Because I've been told by idiots like Colin Cowherd that Jared Goff is a future Hall of Famer. He's the guy. Lions fans want to beat their chest like they didn't get fleeced by the Rams. He's going to win us a Super Bowl, they say. How? You guys let a rookie-led team last year come in there and whoop your butts. Big game Goff showed up, and if you're supposed to be that kind of caliber quarterback, in this situation, you should have a perfect passer rating. You should have at least 3 touchdowns, maybe even a rushing touchdown. Or in your case, maybe even a receiving touchdown. But, unfortunately, Jared Goff is this generation's Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, whichever quarterback that you want to name that has a bunch of elite stats and nothing to prove or nothing to show for it. That's Jared Goff, ladies and gentlemen. The Lions got fleeced. And what happened? They're going to have to deal with the downfall, and they're bouncing out of relevancy over the next couple of years and back on a last place schedule. And they're going to be banking on Jared Goff, the guy that the Rams gave away, gave 2 draft picks, if I remember correctly, a backup quarterback, and the number 1 overall for Matthew Stafford. And then won a Super Bowl with him. A guy that you guys were saying that he ain't it. Clearly, you guys don't know what you're talking about, so... sucks to be a Lions fan today. What's going on, Two-Tone? What is going on? So, let's check out the Sonic and Knuckles were at it again. Oh my God, they were running all over. What do you mean? Am I looking at this correctly? I was told that the Lions were going to have between them two like 300 yards of scrimmage. We're going to lose 50-7. David Montgomery with a paltry 11 attempts, 40 yards, 1 touchdown, 3.6 yards average per carry, 11 yards long for his run, a fumble, which was, so beautiful. And Jahmyr Gibbs, the generational talent, the guy. And now, he can still, I really like Jahmyr Gibbs, okay? He is one of my favorite running backs because I like stars. I just hope he demands a trade soon and gets on a team that will actually let him grow into the potential that he could potentially have, because it ain't going to happen with the Lions, because what's most likely going to happen is he's going to lose his love for football and end up having to retire in his prime, just like Megatron and just like Barry. As a team, they went for 20 attempts, 65 yards, and a touchdown and a forced fumble. Or a fumble lost. Oh, man, so embarrassing. Sam Laporta had a big game. 97 yards, 1 touchdown, 8 targets, 40 long. 57 yards after catch. Not bad for the tight end, but he was quickly nullified as the game went on. Brian Flores had an incredible game plan. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Woo! The guy that I've been told he is so clutch. He's got hands. He don't miss. 9 receptions, 97 yards, 13 targets, 19 long, 22 yards after catch, and a crucial drop in the end zone. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. The guy that's supposed to be doing headstands in the end zone because he's so good at catching the ball. Cold-blooded. Okay. And then we got Jameson Williams after 2 games of literally doing nothing. -1 yards and then 0 yards in the last game. Did a little something today. Not bad for an $80 million man. 4 receptions, 66 yards and a touchdown. 6 targets, 37 long, 22 yards after catch. Ooh. That sounds like a little bit overplayed for a wide receiver 3 kind of stats. Uh-oh. Yeah, he did not play. Gibbs did not play as much because he can't pass protect because he's so small. But what he makes up for in pass protection, he's got explosiveness. And I'm glad to see that Brian Flores was spending all his time in the offseason coming up with a game plan, because it was clear he had enough of this BS that's going on within the Lions and all their trash talking. Because he came up with a crazy good plan. We nullified their running game, and it was beautiful to see. B. Wright chipped in with a 1 catch for 11 yards. Montgomery 2 for 10. Gibbs 3 for 3. And Raymond, that third down, I think it was a 3rd and long that had he caught, they may have even gotten into a position where they would have gone on 4th down. But, so bad. And then we got that Detroit Lions fumble by David Montgomery. Now, we got to give Terrion Arnold a little bit of props here. He didn't come up with an interception. It was a nice heads-up play by him. I'm not going to be one of those guys because I am on record for saying, I'm not going to be like the Lions or the conspiracy nut jobs over in that fan base complaining about the refs and saying that the NFL's got it rigged against them because they don't want Detroit to win. Bro, shut the hell up. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got enough. That's the problem. You got the illusion of a good team because you guys can play really good in the regular season, but you guys aren't built to win in the playoffs. Have you guys not realized that yet? After last year, where your Super Bowl caliber quarterback melted down, and then the year before where you guys choked? But yes, I'm on record as saying I don't care about the refs. I don't care about the plays. If you don't want the refs to be a factor, put the team away. Put it out of reach so they can't do nothing. And then you got nothing to worry about. They couldn't do that. It didn't even matter because it was late in the first half, and they couldn't do anything with it because their offense was straight garbage and predictable for Mr. Brian Flores. He came up with one hell of a game plan. He had spent all his time. Now that I'm thinking about it, did this roster basically just get built so we could destroy the Lions? Because Javon Hargrave had a massive game. Everybody's been crying for him to be traded, and look at that. Woo, he came up big. Now let's get over to our Minnesota Vikings fans. Here we go. Minnesota Vikings. JJ McCarthy, the man that doesn't go sour, always sweet, and always our guy here, Mr. JJ McCarthy, 14 for 25, 143 yards, 56 completion rating, 5.72 average yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 run in, an interception at the end of the second quarter, trying to get extra points on there. You can't be upset with those kind of interceptions anyways. Sacks, he took 5 with a passer rating of 82.6. Now, in a bubble, if you just never watch the game and you see these stats, you go, oh man, JJ ain't it. Look at him. He's got an 82.6 rating. He threw for 143 yards. Yeah, he threw 2 touchdowns, but who cares? It's 143 yards. Hey, you know what? This stat line reminds me of someone. When I first got in the league, I was so used to seeing guys always throw for 300 plus yards that when I saw quarterbacks that couldn't even throw for 200, I was just like, what is going on here? I don't like this. This doesn't feel right to me. And I didn't like Mr. Big Ben Roethlisberger back in the day because I was like, he's coming up with like 160 yards passing, 180, 190, sometimes went over 200 yards, but he was winning games. Because what happened? They drafted a guy that was ready to play, much more so than JJ. But the thing that nobody even gave him credit for was the fact that he was a leader and he was a born winner and he knew what needed to be done in order to win games. He wasn't a stat patter. He always looked to give his team the best chance of winning. If he didn't have to throw 300 yards every single game, it didn't matter to him. In that first year, he was a game manager. And in that second year, he improved a little bit, and then he won a Super Bowl. So, man, what does that tell us about this year? Maybe we can get a lot of similar production and growth out of JJ, and maybe next year is the year? It might be a little bit too early to say, and it might be too early of a comparison. But you know what I know 100% about this game is that Sam Darnold wouldn't have been able to close out that game the way that JJ did. He would have been flustered. He would have been throwing interceptions, and he would have put up a bunch of empty stats. And there's a couple plays in particular that I said Sam would have never made that decision. At the very end of the game, when we really needed a first down, Sam is the type of guy to look for his number 1 receiver or number 2 receiver because those are the guys that are supposed to come up clutch in those situations. He doesn't think further than that. He just knows he has a big arm and he's got an accurate arm and he's going to try to pull something out, give his guys a chance, which is admirable, but not in that situation. What did JJ McCarthy do? JJ McCarthy knew exactly what needed to be done. He knew that everybody was going to be selling out to stop JJ and Addison from getting that go-ahead first down and ending the game. JJ had one read and one read only. You know how I know that that's all he had? Is because when you look at that replay, the moment that JJ released that ball, Speedy Naylor wasn't even out of his break yet. He hadn't even turned back to look. He threw that ball to a specific spot through a back shoulder. It's pretty awesome when you have a quarterback that can make every throw. He just chooses when to use them. Frickin' Brady himself was talking him up like you wouldn't believe in the broadcast. A lot of great things he had to say. Now, let's be real. There was a lot of things that needed to be worked on. You heard it from the young man himself. He said there was a lot of meat left on the bone. And that's what you want to hear from a guy that is never satisfied, is never going to stop looking to improve, that's always going to be looking to be the difference and win games. You know, I remember in the broadcast at the very end when JJ ran out of bounds and stopped the clock, Tom Brady was like, "Oh no, what are you doing, young man? This is when you're supposed to stay in bounds and milk off at least another minute 20 before you do anything with it." And I'm like, "Hey, it's easy for you to say, Mr. Tom Brady, Mr. GOAT. You got the situational awareness. You've got 7 Super Bowls. You know what you're supposed to do in that moment." JJ was running on instinct, and yeah, he made a little bit of a mistake, but I bet you he's going to look at that and remember, and he's going to be like, I cannot make that mistake ever again, and that's not going to happen again because this kid has got the right stuff. He's got the right mentality. He thinks like a winner, and he only cares about winning. He doesn't care about stats. At the very end of the game or in the second half, Sam would have been like, "Oh man, Addison's only got so and so yards. I don't even got 50 yards each. I gotta force feed these guys." And that's when he makes bad plays. That's when he misses safeties or linebackers and ends up taking bad sacks, fumbling the ball, or throwing interceptions. Thank goodness we have a young man that's built to win, not built to collapse in the playoffs. Sorry, Daniel Jones. Sorry, Sam Darnold. I love both you guys. I've actually grown to like you guys because I see that you guys, I like an underdog story. I like the redemption arc that you guys are on. But let's be real. Sam Darnold isn't close to finishing his reclamation project. He's good in the regular season now, but he still needs a year or two before of doing something in the playoffs and showing meaningful growth before anyone can say he can win big games in the playoffs. Let's be real. And the same can be said even more so for Daniel Jones, because all he got was a glimpse of what a good quarterback room, a good coach is. And now he's just running off that and hoping that he can figure it out. But, we'll see how it turns out at the end of the season. We had a great rushing attack. We ran as a team 29 total times for 142 yards. Aaron Jones, 9 attempts, 78 yards. Jordan Mason, 10 attempts, 36 yards. Addison, 1 run for 16. JJ, 9 attempts for 12 yards. Ooh, did you guys also another play at the very end of the game when there was when I don't know if it was JJ that turned to hand the ball off to the wrong side or if Mason ran it up the wrong side. I don't know which one it was. A lot of people are wanting to say, but because of the way the protection looked like and the blocking looked like, he was supposed to go to the left. I don't know. I don't got that depth of knowledge. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments or in the chat here. But in that situation, you know what Sam would have done? He would have panicked and either thrown the ball away or and then stopped the clock or just taken a sack because he would have just stood there like a deer in headlights. Oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. But what did JJ do? Because he's a winner and he's aware of what needs to be done, he made it work, and he ended up getting an extra 4 yards, which set up that incredible pass to Speedy Naylor. Number 9 is him, ladies and gentlemen. I know he's going to struggle still this season. There's a lot of lessons he needs to learn. He learned a bunch of them yesterday. He had a bunch of mistakes, but it didn't cost us the win. He maintained on the path, and he gave us everything he had to get us that win. Incredible. On top of the fact that that young man scrambled for a rushing touchdown too. Ooh-wee. Jordan Addison finishes with 2 receptions for 48 yards. Jefferson, 6 receptions for 47 yards. Aaron Jones, 2 for 20. Speedy Naylor, that crucial catch. Also, let's talk about poise and freaking and confidence in his team. Jalen Naylor hadn't caught a single pass the entire game, and he had three targets, 2 attempts to him before, and he dropped them. But in that moment, he knew, hey, they're going to clear out and do everything to stop Addison, Hawk, and everybody that was out there. And they're going to leave my guy, Speedy Naylor, one-on-one against a third-string freaking corner. Or maybe even a linebacker. I can't even remember who was on him. All I know is that he was garbage. Couldn't defend nothing. Oh, man, I love watching them fail. But the point is that he knew what needed to be done. He had one solid read, and he trusted the receiver, and he put it exactly in only the spot that he could catch it. Talk about being able to throw under pressure, under duress. I don't know if it was under duress, actually. Under pressure because of the moment. And he came up big, guys, because that's what he does. That's what he's done his entire career from high school all the way now. We even saw it in the first week against the Bears. We got to see it again today, but in 4 full quarters. Ooh, man, I feel bad for all those idiots that were saying, oh, he's a bust after frickin' 2 games. I'm not saying anything concrete yet. I want to see him grow, but I see the potential, and I see all the things that make me believe that by the end of the season, we're going to be like, oh, man, we got ourselves a guy that can frickin' win us the big game when we need it. Oh, man. Imagine he goes on a miracle run in the playoffs. Ooh, that is the utmost best case scenario, and that'd be incredible. Ooh-wee. So incredible. Blake Cashman with the play of the game with coming up with a forced fumble. It was awesome. It was awesome, guys. The defense came up big. Brian Flores came up big. But the thing that mattered was the game plan. And you know, I think I wasn't too off on what we needed to do in order to win. Because let me pull up my notes here. I said, these are the things that I said. I said, we have to dominate the time of possession. The Vikings' total time of possession was 28 minutes, 52 seconds. The Lions had 31. Oh, wait, we didn't quite dominate. But like I was saying, this team all areas of the football team need to work. Because when you're a bend, not break defense, based on the scheme that B-Flow does use, you can't be on the field the entire game and be gassed out in the moments when you can't break. It just doesn't work that way. When we're going in here and having like 12 minutes of time of possession total, that's a recipe for failure. And look at that. A balanced team effort. Offense, 28 minutes. That gave the defense all the rest of the need in order to stay fresh and be able to come up with big plays the entire game. Man, that pass rush looked good last night. I also said that if we can do that, we were going to limit the chances that Jared Goff is going to have. And then that's going to open up our defense to be able to really dial in the pressure and really control that. And like I said, if we could just get an interception or a forced fumble from the defense, it's going to make it that much easier to win. And guess what? We got one. We got one. I also said that JJ has to adapt and do what needs to be done. Don't get fancy and just make the right play more times than not. And that's exactly what he did. And I also said that the running game needed to be a big factor. And it was. So I think that ability for us to run better changes when they have to account for JJ. And when they have to account for JJ, it's one less player that's focused on the running back and having to be a spy or be on duty for whenever he decides to scramble, right? And it looked great. And then when I was talking about the special teams, I said we need to be getting some great special teams play. We need to leave the Lions with long fields, which we did on multiple times, making them extremely tired and daunting to have to go 85, 90 yards. And there was a bunch of times where we got them pinned back around the 10-yard line, and they were hurting because of it. There's so many times when they came up to a fourth down, and because they were still in their own end zone or in their own side of the field, they couldn't go for it like they normally do. So we did awesome. And then I said, we need to come up with a kick return, some sort of maybe even a blocked punt or blocked field goal. And we ended up getting that kick return. But it didn't end up standing because of that holding play on it. But the defense, the special teams wasn't done. They were like, we're going to make it up to you, Mr. Price. Because his name is Mr. Price. Put some respect on the guy's name. The guy's a kick returner, an NFL kick returner, the one of the best. Well, maybe not, yes, but he's on his way to becoming one of the best. And he was redeemed by the rest of the special teams coming up with a clutch blocked field goal that basically sealed the deal for these Lions. Ooh, was it beautiful to see. Ooh. So yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see these Detroit Lions start seeing the writing on the wall. Go back and watch that Not Like Us video that I posted where I compared our organization compared to the Lions. I outlined where they are on their path back to a last place schedule. Year one, phase one, they emerge. Phase two, they push and they can't break through. They couldn't do it last year or the year before that. And then they're promptly into phase three, the brain drain. They've lost their coordinators. It was clear that they needed them yesterday because they were lost. They couldn't adjust. Maybe it was a little bit more to do with Ben Johnson than you guys wanted to believe, because that offense had no answer for Brian Flores. They could not adjust. They got punched in the mouth over and over and over again, and they just fell apart. It was spectacular to see. And you know what comes next? They overpay their players, and they can't keep their guys. And before you know it, the locker room is shattered, and all the guys that are going to start jumping ship. And then, final phase, falling into irrelevancy. Back on a last place schedule for at least 10, maybe 15. Hey, if we're lucky, 20 years. We don't got to put up with their BS. That's why I'm wearing my Wolverines shirt, and I'm wearing the same hat that Mr. JJ McCarthy rocked in the presser. And guys, what an incredible win. A total team effort. I asked in our group chat with our Vikings creators and a bunch of friends that we got in here, Vikings fans, and I asked, is this a signature win for JJ? Is it for KOC? And then I thought, is this a signature win for Brian Flores? A couple people said, it's for all three of them. And I like that. I really like that. Because you know what? A lot of things were said about the play calling, this and that, but I've been saying, guys, it doesn't matter what play call is made, even if it's the best play call in the world. If the O-line doesn't execute, if the players don't execute, it don't matter what play you call. And yesterday, we were the most efficient and most effective that we were. And we executed better than every game so far, except for the wins. We'll give the wins. So those wins gave us a flash of what was to come. And now we got a big game to look forward to. We were playing the Ravens. Hopefully Lamar is still opting not to run the ball hard because he's trying not to re-injure himself and put himself out, because he knows that if he takes a bad injury now, the season's over. He needs to be healthy. So maybe we can capitalize on that and make sure that we keep him in the pocket and we prevent him, make that offense more one-dimensional, stop the run, and maybe we can come up with another win. But guys, let's not get this win overhype us, make us overconfident, because this is still a roller coaster season. JJ is still going to make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions. He's going to take sacks. He's going to have a forced fumble. He's going to make mistakes. He was throwing a bunch of balls just behind players, which is fine. A rookie's supposed to look like that. But this roster, when we're on, we can carry just about anybody to a win. That's including our young rookie. And with the mindset that this young man has, we might do a little something here to finish the season. We might look like the team that everybody expected us to be going into the season. So, guys, keep your head up. I freaking love every single one of you guys. I don't care what freaking team you guys are a part of. I want the best for you, and your team. Except for when you're facing us. I want us to win and you guys to suck. And I only just don't want you guys to have injuries because that's a pain in the butt. And like I said earlier today, did you guys notice how mediocre the Lions offense looked? It's kind of crazy when 4 out of your 5 starters keep getting cycled out for injuries the entire game, how ineffective that line can be and how much it affects their offense. Now, they have a little bit more experience than us, so they were able to put more points up than we normally do or have in the start of the season. But hey, guess what? That's any good team suffering the injuries that we did is going to struggle. And hopefully, knock on wood, that is all behind us now. And we get to ride into the last part of the season, gaining more consistency, gaining more confidence, becoming more efficient, more disciplined. And heck, maybe, just maybe, we're still on pace for 12 wins. Ooh-wee. Wouldn't that be something special? The JJ McCarthy special, 12 wins coming off a weird start to the season. Oh, man. If anybody can do it as a rookie, it's with a team like this, it's Andrew Luck or JJ McCarthy. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. I want to be there, hopefully, God willing, by the end of the calendar year. And with your support, we can get there. Thank you so much, guys. I love every single one of you guys. Have a great one. Take care.